Hi YouTube, it's Tracy from Entrepreneur Girl, and today is Tracy's Tuesday Tips, and we're going to be talking about weird places to acquire books for your eBay and Amazon business. Before we begin, I've had a lot of people asking me when we're going to do the next private label video, and I actually wanted to do that today, but I have a surprise coming to you. And as much as I wanted to post it today, I couldn't. We have to post it on Thursday. So you're just gonna have to wait and check back on Thursday, but I'm really excited. I had a lot of fun with this video, and it's all doing with private label. And then next Tuesday, a week from today, I'm gonna be posting another private label video on my personal experience, kind of where I am with everything. But I can tell you that, oh my gosh, it has been flat out crazy. So I have a lot to share behind the scenes with you in this whole crazy experience. But back to today's video, we've done several videos on books. And the reason today is going to be different is because there are a lot of weird places out there that you can get books from, sometimes free, that people don't know about, or they just won't dare travel that path. But you can, and you can get books this way. Like I said, you can get them free or very inexpensive, and sometimes you're the only person, so there's no competition in grabbing up this inventory. It's just, they're weird, and a lot of people are like, what? I'm not going to do that. But I would like to do a video posting these different ideas of places that you can go, because to get you thinking outside the box and about not just going to the places like garage sales and library sales that we always talk about, which is the main way, of course, that we acquire our book inventory. Now, if you've watched my other videos, you know that I got my start in Amazon based on books. That's what I started with. I love books. I love to read. I kind of, gravitate towards books, especially vintage books. And so I'm always buying them. I'm always sending them in. And month after month after month, they're a solid base for me as far as income goes for my Amazon business. And for that, I'm really grateful and I love it. But you also know that I like to diversify my income streams. I don't like just to be Amazon or eBay. I like to do a lot of different options on online income. So I do YouTube and stock trading and e-commerce and my own website. And that way, if any source of income is eliminated, I can still have money coming into my home, right? The same can be said for books for me. I love books, but I don't want 100% of my income to be based around them. Now, a lot of people disagree with this. A lot of people have very lucrative businesses solely based on books, and that's wonderful. I'm just saying that I don't, as far as what I've decided to do. So several times I have had clients in the past that want to start off with the book business, or that's currently what they're doing. And my advice to them is to try to branch out with complementary items, like add, book bags or book marks, or add different types of media like VHS, cassettes, DVDs, different things that would complement your books, but kind of open you up to, different groups of people that will then go to your store. Interested in books and you want to find books, we are going to roll through a bunch of places that maybe you haven't considered yet. Okay, so as we're talking about these weird places that you can find books, be thinking about how you can branch into other products that will grow your book line. We've talked about CDs, DVDs, VHS, software, first edition, collectibles, anything like that that you can add to your current inventory that will grow your niche, that will add people to your storefront, that will gain you more exposure. For example, CDs, we've talked about them in the past. They have a small size, they're lightweight, so it makes them very easy to store, very easy to ship. And most of the time, CDs will sell for, $10 to $20 to $30, and you can purchase them for just $1 or $2. Same with classical, jazz, blues, those types of genres. Sometimes the percentage of valuable CDs is higher than that of valuable books at a sale, like a library book sale, which is why I often begin book sales by heading straight for the CDs. And believe it or not, people are still buying VHS tapes. You saw me look at those at the Goodwill store. And in fact, there are quite a few VHS collectors out there. So I have sold many VHS tapes for over $50, so you don't want to rule them out as well. So one of the ways I always talk about to get books, so it's not really weird, but maybe some of you haven't heard about it, is going to the library book sales. And this is done by the Friends of the Public Library System, and they have sales a couple times a year normally, and you can go and really just network and make contacts with people that run the sales, and then make a deal with them that you take all the books that they're going to donate at the end of the sale. Other places that we've talked about, but I want to make sure that you know about them, are your thrift stores, your garage sales. And a great site to help you with this, if you haven't heard about it, is garagesaletracker.com. And there's also yardsales.com. A lot of people will not go to book and CD stores. And I think that's a mistake because I know that they are expensive. A lot of them are going out of business because of the online presence. But if you have some in your areas, there are still opportunities for profits if you know where to look at these places. So typically I will seek large stores that move a lot of inventory. And for these stores to stay in business, they really need to keep a fresh stock of books and eliminate what is not selling. Talk to the manager, see if you can negotiate and get some sort of deal or discount on clearing out those non-moving books for that store. Recycle centers. Okay, this is kind of a weird place, but some of these recycle centers have designated book areas that they reserve just for books. And if you go there and start networking with these people, you can first inquire to see whether yours does or doesn't. But if they do, many, many times they will just give it to you. You know, they just basically want to recycle the material and not, you know, have it go into the waste dumps. So if you go and have a legitimate reason why you want them and can explain that you're going to be reusing them, oftentimes you can just make a scheduled pickup to come periodically and just take all of them for free. Now, your local mail carrier. A lot of people don't think about USPS mail workers when thinking about getting inventory, but these people just have a lot of information. They will know better than anyone who is moving in and out of your neighborhood. And so many times when people move out, they will take all of the stuff that they don't want, which is many times large boxes of books, and they would just put it in front of the house, you know, with the regular trash. Or if you know ahead of time that these people are moving, you can approach them and say, hey, heard you were, you know, moving, and would you have some books that you no longer want? Many people just don't want to move them. They're heavy, they're bulky, they take up a lot of space. People don't really perceive that they have a lot of value, and they just want to leave them behind. Professors at the local community college or university, you know, any type of school atmosphere, they have free textbooks sent to them all the time and just need someone to take it off their hands. So you can get a list of local schools. You can send letters asking if you can distribute a flyer to each teacher at that school offering to buy extra textbooks. You can also request that they notify you when they are, you know, going to be purging the classrooms of the old books at the end of the school year, and see if you can't make arrangements that way. Okay, like we said, people moving in and out of the city. You can either call or talk to a realtor, or you can simply research on the local realty site yourself and see when people put their homes on the market. You can leave a flyer on the doorstep offering to take their old books off their hands. If it is local, you can provide them a box with your company logo or name on the side so you look all professional, and you can, that way it just kind of reminds them to put their unwanted books aside for you. You can advertise in Craigslist kind of the same way. Are you moving? You know, want to offload your unwanted garage items? Contact me. I will pick up and take them off your hands. Trash collectors. I know, ooh, right? A trash collector to keep some of the books and media that are thrown out and bring them to you for a price. Of course, you want to train him or her a bit before you start paying so you don't end up, with boxes full of battered romance novels. But you will be amazed and probably pretty sad at how many books get thrown away every single day. Students at universities and colleges, they just are notorious for this. When I went to Gainesville, University of Florida, and we would go there all the time for the Gator games, and it is amazing what they just set out in the trash. Whole dorms, furniture, books, just everything, because they're moving every year. It's like they just start over and they just get new stuff and they set out their old stuff all the time. So you can either be a trash collector yourself, in that on trash day you kind of drive around and see what's being abandoned, or you can, just kind of negotiate with the trash collector in your area and say, hey, this is what I'm trying to do, and if you bring me, I'll pay you $5 a box or whatever. And a lot of times if they see stacks of it sitting out, they will gladly just, put it in the cab and run it off to you. Doctors' offices. Doctors have some of the most expensive books around. Lawyers, I also found the same thing. Not only your own doctor, but doctors also move, they also retire. And like medical books, law books, anything like this, they will discard entire sets even though they maintain a high value online, because either they don't know about the value online or they don't really care. They just don't want to mess with it. So anyone that you meet, doesn't have to be just a doctor or a lawyer, but anyone that you meet, you should get your card, they should get your card and a reminder that you are buying books. And you could be creative and seek out any kind of professional that has access to books or other types of media that you might be interested in. Classified newspaper ads can be a good way to let people know that you buy books and media. Also, Facebook groups. There are many Facebook groups just for certain towns. So like I live on an island and my island has its own Facebook group, and we can communicate that way. So I can tell them that, hey, I'm interested in buying books, and they can notify me through that venue. You can also advertise in the free sections. So free sections of your newspaper or on Craigslist, and just look and see if people have put something in there that they are giving away for free. You can offer to remove unwanted books or other items totally for free. So you're driving out there. I've known people that said that they were willing to clean out a garage for somebody if they could keep all the stuff that wasn't needed or wanted, or, just let me come in and clean out your garage or your attic and I'll keep the stuff that's not really important. You can also put an ad out for people that are running garage sales, because most of the time they will usually donate or throw out whatever's left over. And if you offer to come to them and remove all the items for free, where they don't have to worry about packing it up and taking it to Goodwill, if you're willing to do that for free, then a lot of times they will let you do that. Bulletin boards are still a great way to say, hey, we buy books, and leave your card or another small advertisement. So you can do this on campuses where, of course, you have lucrative bulletin boards, especially during textbook buyback season, at the end of a quarter or at the end of a semester. You can also find bulletin boards at libraries, town halls, parks, your grocery store, really any public place. Just be sure to see if you need to have permission before you post any of your advertisements. You can even do like the little pull-off tabs where they could take your phone number and call you or email you if they have something. A little bit about Facebook, but there's also Twitter and all your different social media. You already have access to lots of people that you've known through all these years. And if you put out messages requesting books, encouraging your friends, to be on the lookout for books for you, you'd be surprised how many people step up to the plate. Another ooh, the landfill of most places. If you go to them and say, look, I really, really hate to see books being thrown away. Won't you let me, take some of these and, salvage them, reuse them, repurpose them, go green, whatever you want to say, but approach these landfills and see if they won't, hold them out for you, or, if there's a way that you can gain access to the thousands of books that get thrown in these. Bank foreclosures. Many times people will leave their belongings behind after a bank forecloses on their property. So banks hire people that will come in, clean out the houses before the foreclosure sale begins, and all the belongings that are left behind will either get thrown out with the garbage, or the person or the company who cleans out the house will get to keep any of the items that he or she wants. So one way I've seen people utilize that is to approach the banks and be the cleaning crew that goes into these houses, because you have access to a whole house full of stuff. Most of which would be my guess that it would be like really nasty and gross, but you would have all of their books, all of their VHS, all of their DVDs, just anything that they left behind, and you would get it for free. Or if you don't want to do it yourself, find out who the companies are, who the people are, and you can make a deal for them, because they see these houses, house after house after house, and I can't imagine that they want all of those books for themselves. So if they can make even a small profit off of, just not throwing it in the trash and handing it to you, you might be able to make an arrangement where you get a phone call every time they're at a house, and while they're cleaning, you can be going through the book pile. Online auctions or just regular auctions. I have a video out there about an auction. I love auctions. And one of the websites that you can use for this is auctionzip.com. Okay, eBay. Following an eBay auction that maybe is a lot of books that you want, and you're wanting to make sure that you get the auction, you can either, just do it through the regular channels, or you can utilize a snipping service. Okay, backpage.com. This is a useful resource. The main page will display all the areas, mostly cities, listed by state. The site is free to use. It doesn't require signing up to browse the listings or anything like that. Really, you can set it with any parameters that you want, and you can look for books or different inventory this way. Also, if you would like to post an ad requesting books, you can also do that on this site. Okay, another site that I like is freeclassifieds.com. Clean, easy to use, and it provides exactly what the domain name says that it does. It's just free classified ads. Another one is www.usfreeads.com. This is a busy site. It has tons of different items being offered for sale. Okay, www.classifiedsforfree.com. This is a large and very busy site as well. We talked about how great campuses are and professors and students are, but the campus bookstores, although they buy back many books, there are many more that for whatever reason, such as a new edition or new professor or etc., that the campus bookstore does not purchase. So 9 times out of 10, these books are still very valuable. Usually students just donate or throw them away because they can't get any money from the campus bookstore for them. So you can talk to the bookstore manager about these books that they don't buy back from students. Ask if you could volunteer to help with the buyback in exchange for these worthless books. You can hang out near the bookstore during buyback times and wait for students to throw their books away. You can also put out boxes to try to get people to use them instead of the trash cans. You can, leave your cards, pass out your cards. Just want to make sure that you don't make anybody angry that you're loitering on their campus or anything. Another site that I like real well is www.booksalesfound.com. So you can check that out. Dumpster diving, if you have seen, I actually did a video on this and tried my first dumpster dive, and I was shocked at all the new tag stuff that I found. But it really is, I thought it was a myth, but it is a valid source for free inventory. And I know a lot of people who wouldn't do it, but I know lots that say they make thousands. So you'll have to check and see if it's illegal in your area. But locations for dumpster diving, especially in college towns at the end of semesters, might be, really ripe to find a lot of stuff that is thrown out. Dorms would be good on college campuses, CD stores, even the bookstores at the college campuses. It would be interesting to see what ends up in the trash at all of those places. Other businesses, we talked about law offices, real estate offices, doctor's offices. Those are all thoughts on dumpster diving. Big bookstores. I'm talking like your Barnes and Noble type of bookstore here. Many of these large bookstores throw out or recycle books that they can't sell after a certain time, or books that have been returned or damaged slightly. CDs are kind of the same. Large CD stores would also be the same. USPS auctions. Now, these auctions include a wide variety of unclaimed items. Some of them might be damaged, but I would guess that most of them aren't. And you can find bulk book lots ranging from like 400 to 1,000 books. And I'm sure they weigh like several hundred pounds. Now, until recently, the U.S. Post Office used to hold local on-site auctions, but I think it's all online now. So you will need to Google and go to their website and find out when the online auction is going to be, and keep, checking the site to see when it's like up and running and what's going on. Sales of this merchandise can also be called mail recovery auctions. The U.S. government has auctions too. It can be property that's forfeited as a result of violations of federal law. It could be, not paying something. You find the smaller items that are going up for sale, such as books or jewelry or media items. You can go under the search for general property and look there. So this is going to be like treasury.gov. One that I have used is govdeals.com, and it's kind of along the same thing. It provides a service to various government agencies with whom have surplus or confiscated items that they're trying to get rid of. A lot of government agencies aren't allowed to sell outright things that have been confiscated. So think like you go through the airport and you forgot you had the pocket knife. They take the pocket knife. Most of those items are never claimed, and the government's not allowed to like sell them individually. So they have these auctions of these goods, and you can buy an auction of 200 pocket knives and then turn around and sell the knives on Amazon. In theory, that's kind of how it works. So go to govdeals.com and check it out. Okay, so that is our weird, kind of out of the box ways to find inventory. There was a lot of them. I'm sure you probably have some weird ones, if not more weird. So I hope you'll share them down below. Well, guys, hope this was helpful to you. If it was in any way, please thumbs up below. So add content down below in the comment section and kind of tell us some places that maybe we hadn't considered before. I really hope to see you Thursday, because like I said, I have a surprise for you on Thursday's video, and I really don't want you to miss it. So I will talk to you then, and hope you have a good couple of days. Bye, guys.